like that.
You like our intro now?
I do.
Cool, cool. All right, well, we're here live tonight. We did have a guest lined up, but
Unfortunately, he canceled about 20
last
minutes before
yeah,
the show started.
last minute cancel. Wasn't feeling good. Said he was
Hope he
puking
gets
pretty
better.
bad. So
We'll have to have him
I'm
on
your
in the
guest
future.
tonight. Hello.
so we're gonna be showing some stuff and talking about stuff that we did on Halloween last year
Oh
in
man.
Grafton at the Grafton Mill. And we're joined tonight by my daughter, who was with us for that investigation. So she got some firsthand stuff with it along with us. But she hasn't seen any of the footage or heard any of the audio yet. So,
Nobody else has either.
yeah, well, except for you and I.
Right.
I actually I actually
And,
sat down and went through a bunch of it, and I found
and some of the other
some stuff.
people
I
that were
got some
there,
notes.
but it hasn't been put up publicly anywhere like on YouTube or Facebook. So nobody's seen any of the footage that you're about to see tonight. It
But we're
hasn't been
not
seen on
showing
our
everything.
website. It hasn't been seen
There's
on
quite
our
a bit.
website or our Facebook page or YouTube channel at all.
Right.
This is the
There's
first
quite a
time
bit of
anybody's going
footage
to
that we
see any
got
of it.
for that evening because we had two cameras running and we had an audio device running. And
Look at the handheld.
that's the two cameras. Kayla had the one camera, which was Joe's, and my camera was sitting on the tripod in the upper stair area, the third floor yoga studio, pointing out towards the back wall of the yoga studio with the other investigators that were there with us, Christopher Kai House and his wife were there, and his camera was on the other side, pointing kind of a crisscross angled where my
Well,
camera was pointing.
towards
So
the entrance.
yeah, and so they were facing the back wall away from the entrance. So we started those cameras and let them run. There's quite a bit of footage on those. We're probably going to have to cut those down before we put everything together.
Yeah, that might end up going up in a couple of parts.
Yeah, it might
But,
have to be two or three parts because there is a lot of footage, and there's a
you know,
lot of stuff caught on this stuff
what
on
was it?
this
The last
footage
time,
too.
the one time we actually posted something from Grafton was the private home footage of Tom and Molly,
Yeah, that
and
and that
that took
we
up like 3 or 4 parts just to get it
yeah,
all up on
because
YouTube
there was a
in color
lot there
parts.
too.
Right, there
We
was a lot there.
we again had two cameras at that point. One of them was stationary, sitting in the attic, and it got the counterweight for the attic door swung the entire time,
Weird.
and it never slowed down or stopped. You would think it would stop, but it
Like a
wouldn't. It didn't.
pendulum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just kept swinging, and
Hmm.
it there was no airflow up there, no wind blowing, and it was well over an hour that it swung like that, and I can't figure out why it stayed swinging, except for weird stuff happening. So anyway, Kayla was our camera person with Joe's camera that night, and she was the one that was walking around with me that night with it. I had the voice recorder and I had my thermal camera, and I went live for about 8 minutes with my brand new cell phone.
It was
And
pitch
I
black.
was just kind of trying it out to see if I could do it, and it worked out okay. It's just I got to work with figuring out how we can actually connect our cameras, which are wireless, and
actually,
they will
this
connect, and
new
we
one
might be
might
able to.
actually. This new one I got, the full spectrum deal, the 4K full
Yeah,
spectrum new camera that I got for us. That sucker is going to be a lot easier to hook up to Wi-Fi and so on and so forth.
I
And
hope so.
like,
But our cameras that we use now have the Wi-Fi
I
capability,
know,
so we
but
should
this
be able
one,
to hook them up to a
I know,
laptop through the Wi-Fi
right?
system,
We'll
and
have to
then
see.
use the laptop to broadcast live.
We'll have to test it out one
We're
day.
gonna have to we're gonna have to work with some of that, and hopefully there's people that have done it already and can give us some pointers on how to do it. That'd be great. So anyway, Kayla, are you Are you doing okay tonight? You happy that you're going to be talking about this and maybe
Yeah,
get to see some of the footage we took?
because after my carpal tunnel surgery, I've been in the house for I
Oh
don't know,
yeah, how you doing?
2.5 weeks. The kids in the house is driving me nuts.
You ready for that straight jacket and go to the insane asylum, right?
Oh, she's already halfway here. We're
She's
at
at the
the insane
insane
asylum.
asylum.
I'm doing good. My hand's a lot better. I'm just having troubles with heavier things and
Yeah,
twisting.
that's okay.
I just got my stitches out, so
Yeah, you'll be getting better with it.
my
So,
hand is
Joe,
fine.
you got any any of it brought up and ready
No,
to
I'm gonna
show,
let you
or
do that. I'm gonna play lazy right
you're gonna
now.
let me do it?
Sure,
All
why
right. What do you
not?
want to hear? What do you want to see or hear
But I do want
first?
to. I do want to start out by saying this, just to give people a little background. We got together. We planned this out ahead of time. Our friends at Off the Rails podcast, um, Tom and Molly, got us special access to this building in Grafton, and we were joined not only by them, but we were also joined by Christopher Kaihaus and his wife, another paranormal investigative team. So this was like one of our first crossover investigations with another actual paranormal team as well. So it was kind of an interesting night. We didn't know what we'd find, but the town itself has got a lot of history behind it. So I think
Crap.
that's what also made it really fun. And we
It was
were
a
right
wonderful
next.
building.
Yeah, it was a wonderful building, and we
Gorgeous
were right
building.
next to the Milwaukee River outside, out
And
back.
that waterfall out back with the lights is
Yeah,
so pretty.
that was so cool, right under that one bridge, right? But anyway,
All right. I got to figure out what format I can bring this up in order for it to
I wasn't too sure
be
about
able to
what we'd
show it.
find there, but boy, I did have some really cool and kind of first time paranormal experiences in that place.
Let's see if that'll work.
You know, the one we don't have any footage for, but there was no footage. This was the time that I say we need to add more equipment. We need a body cam.
Yeah,
Maybe
actually, we do. I
okay.
think we do need a body
So,
cam.
and I'm sure you've talked about this before because we mentioned it when we had Tom on. But you guys were going back upstairs from that little bar room down there on the first floor. You guys were going back upstairs. Tom was coming down. I decided to turn around and go back with Tom, and we were going outside by the river to smoke a cigarette.
Yep.
So with and as we were walking out on the right side, you've got three lights. They're all attached to each other, and they're all attached to a switch at either end of the hallway. And they all come on at the same time. But as we were walking down, and these lights were off at the time, and as we were walking down, that middle light flickered at us, just the middle light alone, and they're all on the same circuit. And we could not um, recreate that by tapping on the because it was so
I
old that it
remember
had the
that.
old it had those old wire casings, the
Yeah.
metal things where the wires run through from one to the next, going up and down the walls, from the light socket. And nope, tapping on them, nothing worked. Yeah,
That's Joe's phone.
yeah, I hate that. My
All right.
phone
This is actually the footage
updated and
from
the
my
sound
cell phone.
changed.
Why
Yeah,
would
This is my cell phone footage from that night.
your cell phone footage is pitch black?
I know, but there's sound.
well then be quiet so we can hear the sound.
And it's 8 minutes. See?
You can kind of.
Unfortunately, it doesn't shoot in night vision. I wish it would.
Yes, it
This
is.
is my play around stuff. Here, I'll speed through some of it.
Did you get anything on your phone that you know of?
No, actually, I didn't. What I did get though is I got some video of
Me moving around.
the thermal camera. my thermal camera.
Oh
I
yeah.
did get some of it. And what you're hearing in that rumbling is the actual heater that was in the area that we were in. There. I was filming the thermal camera for a little bit there. That'd be a better shot for people to see anyway. And that was the heater.
Those little targets are moving all over hell.
Well, this is a very drafty building, by the way, Joe. Well, maybe there is a
Learn to aim the camera.
You can't.
And actually, it did actually drop.
Your dad
The
can't
temperature was dropping.
multitask, Kayla. You know, he can't hold the thermal camera and the video camera and try to shoot the other at the same time.
It's hard to do. I'm coordinated, but
No, you're about as coordinated as an elephant.
And there's me and Joe.
whatever.
But yes, this is a Grafton story. This is the Grafton Mill. It used to be a flour mill back in the day. Now it's kind of an art studio.
And this is me horsing around with the thermal camera and my new cell phone. Here, I'm fast forwarding through some of this because I didn't actually view this much, but I did that light that you that flickered on us. I was getting a heat signature off of it.
Yeah, those lights were pretty. And then there was that moment. We didn't catch this on camera either, but there was that moment where it was you, myself, and Kayla. We were sitting down on that first floor in that bar area, and doing like an EVP session. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
And when we left that room, we turned off the lights.
Yes, actually, my cell phone video there is proof positive that those lights were off when we left that area.
Yeah, because that was that area. We weren't too far, so we
Yeah.
turned off the lights in that room. And then
So
we
the
went
lights
up-
were off.
The
Right,
lights that they, but let's make it a point. The lights that they saw in your cell phone video was the restaurant lights. They did not.
Yes, the lights that you did see on in that, if you did see them at all, the coffee bar or bar, whatever that is in there,
cafe.
there was lights on in there. But the
Right.
area where we were sitting outside, and you'll see later on in another video here,
Yeah,
I
it
will
had
show that.
I just
it
want
had this. It had the
The lights,
second-
there was a separate lighting
Right.
area, but the switch for those was
over by the
around
door.
the
Yeah.
back of the wall
over
by the other door that
door
you
that
come
went
in.
outside. Yeah, that went
And
out
neither
way
of us,
outside.
not one of us three, went into that area. We were in the seating area, but we never went behind that wall towards that door.
Right.
No.
So that's the lights that were on when they came back downstairs later on
Yeah,
that
they
evening
were off. When
to
we
get
left that
set
room,
up
they were off.
for our EVP that we were going to do that night. So
Yeah.
let's see here. Da-da-da-da.
So when we come back after doing that EVP session
that
on the
off.
third floor, we come back to find all those lights on.
Yes.
And nobody else was in the building. Everybody that was supposed to be in the building at that time that had the authority to be in the building at that time was all on the third. Everybody was on the third.
So do you
floor
want
at that time.
do you want voice noise or voice recorder, or you want the
voice noise.
or do you want the video?
Dealer's
Whatever
choice.
you choose.
Because see, I have there's tons of video here.
I'm gonna look at my headphones.
Dealer's
Okay, you can get your
choice.
headphones.
That way I can hear the videos and EVPs better.
All right, here I'll do this one then. Damn it.
Stay up.
Because since since we're talking about it, I'll do this one.
Yeah. I noticed something was missing.
What the hell's going on? All right, there's language. My child is like me.
I
She
can't.
has a mouth like a drunken sailor.
Yes, I do. Buzz off. Since we're live, I can't really swear, can I?
No, since this is going over too.
Not anymore. We got to kind of watch those F-bombs and so on and
Yeah,
so
that's
forth.
why I was nice.
Save me some editing that way.
I won't make you do
I think
that.
this is the one. Yeah. All right. This is the area that we were talking about, by the way. You can see there in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to have a key to get into that room to turn
Right.
off those lights.
Move your mouse.
This guy here. All right. That's Tom right there. That's Joe. And you can see the lights back there. That's the bar we were talking about.
Mhm.
The guy over here.
Yeah, they couldn't figure out how to turn off those lights.
That's
why they stayed on.
Chris.
They kept them on all night.
Yeah, because we couldn't figure out how to turn them off. That was
We
one of the
couldn't.
big
You had to
questions.
go inside there
yeah.
to turn them off.
They kept them on purpose. A lot of restaurants do that.
No, there was no. There was no motion activated lights.
No, that's
sensors.
Molly right there.
And
no, behind Molly
hold
is
on.
that wall.
Hold on.
Yep, that was like a little wall
Hold on, Mark.
slash.
I'm trying to answer this question. No, there was
Sorry.
no motion activated lights, no sensors, and we also had the people that had access to that show contact the owners to find out if any of the lights were on timers. You know, because some businesses they put lights on timers so that the lights come on at a certain time when they're closed, so it makes it look like somebody's there. And they didn't have any lights on the timers either at all. So there was nothing on timers.
So the lights that were on were the ones in this section that we're sitting right now in this video. This is Molly here. There's a wall right here behind her, and you have to literally go behind that wall and over to the door that's on this side
to turn on the lights in that room.
Lights on for this section.
Right.
And neither me, Kayla, or Joe went past this door. We never even went over by this door.
Nobody touched those lights.
No, we stayed right at those tables. The table we're sitting at in that video is where we were the whole time.
Actually, yeah, the table that Kayla and I are sitting at is the exact same table her and I sat at in the beginning.
For our EVP.
Right, when we came down there first.
Yeah, and it was windy as hell that night.
I'm actually going to... See, that was me. That was me and my fat ass. My fat behind.
There is one piece of footage I do want to see. But I don't know if you'd show it on here or not.
Well, I'm not sure which one you're looking for, so.
Okay. Can I say it? I don't want to give
let me
too
finish.
much
Let me
away.
finish with this first, and then I'll let you. All right, Joe, you done with your phone call? Joe?
Did he pause himself? I think he paused himself. No, he's moving.
Joe! I can't hear you. You're...
Yeah, I can't hear him either.
Ah. So he must be on the phone.
Oh, in the middle of a show, really?
Yes, in the middle of a show, really.
Butthead. Good old Uncle Joe.
You know, the phone was sitting by me, and I had to answer it because it came from the hospital.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So, it was an appointment confirmation for my heart doctor.
Okay, well.
There you go.
Anyway, so here. Now, this is us, our EVP downstairs here.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if this is the one.
Was
this the one with just me? No, that was the group one.
No, this is all of us.
Because I think Tom's the one sitting next to me over there.
Yeah, that's Tom. And Joe's over here.
Molly would have been over to the right.
Yeah, Molly's over there.
That's, yeah.
See, there's that wall.
Yeah, that's right. We were sitting down there, and all of a sudden the faucet in the bathroom turned on.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to find. I'm not sure if I'm on the right one here.
That was crazy as shit.
Yeah, there was a bathroom.
Language.
There was a bathroom.
Sorry.
Before you entered this room, there was a bathroom on the right-hand side of the hallway as you.
That's Chris right there.
Yeah, so the bathroom that he's.
The bathroom is right there behind Chris.
Wall.
Right behind that wall.
Right,
is
he's
the bathroom.
on the bathroom wall. So he was sitting there, and I think he was the first one. You guys were the first ones that heard that. All of a sudden, the water comes on.
Hang on.
There, I heard it because I'm looking that way.
There was something we heard here, so hang on.
Yeah, I think it was the water.
No, it wasn't.
I heard something beeping.
I heard something, but it was really faint. No, this isn't the one that we need. It's the one before this.
The one where we were upstairs?
No.
It's the one before this that I need.
He's trying to find where the water started running.
Right. I'm looking for the...
It was the same footage. You should have just fast-forwarded the video.
No. They're broke down. Down.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So,
but
I got to open it in another window.
When that happened, everybody that was at that investigation was sitting in that room except for Chris's wife. I think she stayed up on the third floor.
No, she was behind Kayla.
Yeah, everybody was with us.
Oh, so everybody was down there. So
Chris's wife was behind Kayla.
She was kind of in the corner to my left.
Everybody that was part of this investigation was in that small room. Nobody else had authorization to be in that building.
We know for a fact nobody else was in that building.
Those faucets were so old because this building was built in the 1800s. I mean,
no, you can't say they were old because it
didn't have the sensors under it. You know,
no, these didn't have sensors.
That's what I'm trying to say. The building was built in the 1800s. You know, the plumbing's only been updated probably a few times. So they had the old crank handles on them, so you had to turn them to turn the water.
No, this one was a lift. You lift it and you could swivel it.
You had it,
but there was no sensor on it.
Right, there was no sensors on these.
And I know where this one. I know where this one is approximately. So you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, we are going to go to. It was right about. I think it was right in there. I'll run it from there. I think it was like 146.20 something.
But before you started, I just want to make a quick comment. You know, the strange thing about this place was...
I mean, start it. I am starting it. It's running. But go ahead. I paused it.
Most of the activity seems to have taken place on that first floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for the fact that there is some activity that happened on the third floor as well.
Yes, definitely.
Right, but it's like, I don't know.
Ready?
Yeah.
Now keep listening. You'll hear a difference in the tone. Did you hear it?
It's kind of hard to hear. I hear the water now.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like somebody just flushed the toilet or something.
And then Tom gets up
and goes check.
And he walks over to it. Now listen. soon as he got to the door, it stopped.
Mm-hmm. And the sink was wet.
And nobody
Now,
used that bathroom before that.
Chris was the first one, besides Tom. Chris was the first one in there.
And then you followed.
All right. Besides Tom, Chris was the first one there. And he went directly to the toilet to pull the lid thing off the back of the toilet to check for movement in the water and bubbles. So whenever, because when a toilet refills, there's movement. My first instinct, because it ran so long, was to check the sink.
And the sink was wet.
And
you even say that in here. You should. It should.
You can hear me. Fresh water right out of the tap.
Yeah, because nobody used that bathroom.
No.
Until,
later, after that happened.
Right. Because when I used the restroom, I used the second floor.
Yep.
Okay.
And of course, here's my mouth.
Yeah. Straight up.
Straight up. Me. Straight up.
Yep.
Yeah. Now there they are. That was like everybody in the bathroom with the light on.
That was my spot.
Figure it out. But that was strange, all of a sudden you're sitting there and all of a sudden you just hear the water running. Nobody else is in the building, but everybody that part of our team was right in that room right there. And they would have had to gone through that door and past Chris to get to that bathroom, and nobody moved.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, though,
they were.
Not just that. If anybody would have came from the other direction, you or Tom would have seen them.
Right.
Because you guys were sitting up against that wall there.
Right.
See, the whole thing is, and
you would have seen a shadow from the light from that room.
Right, and you could hear Tom, and you could hear Chris at that point right there. You could hear Chris saying that couldn't have been the toilet because there was no water movement in the back of the toilet when he pulled that lid. So what we had was the actual, and it's one of those pull up and then directional for your hot and cold.
Mm-hmm.
What we had is that thing. Something picked it up, let it run, and as soon as Tom started looking, as soon as he got to the edge of that door to look in, it pushed it down.
Yep.
Shut the damn stuff off. It was teasing him. It was messing with him.
And what kind of sucks is, the most of the places that we've investigated in the past before Grafton, we've been able to find history, lots of it,
Oh yeah. Oh heck yeah.
But when it came to Tom and Molly's house and the mill over there, I couldn't find much on the mill because it dated back so far. And all I could find out, and everybody thought, lumber mill. And it wasn't a lumber mill. It was an actual flour mill.
Yeah, it's a flour mill. It was designed, the way this mill was designed, there was a grinder wheel in the center, or in the basement. And it had a shaft that ran out to a water wheel because it's next to the river. And that water wheel is what they used to power the mill.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But because it was next to the river, I think a lot of the people might have assumed that it was a lumber mill. Okay. And the thing is, because
it was windy as hell that night.
Lumber mill or flour mill, either way, there had to have been, and I'm willing to bet, like most factories, probably some accidental deaths.
Yeah,
it's a possibility.
Especially considering
a lot of mills.
Considering when this was a flour mill, you're talking 1800s, early 1900s.
You're also talking child labor, which means a
lot
of
during
children.
That time was child labor.
A lot of children labor. Probably worked there. Yep, exactly. And the children are vulnerable, and they probably got killed during working.
Well, there was also I don't know if Tom's still watching or not, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think there was like this great big huge fire in Grafton back around that time at some point too that I found in history. Because I was trying to, and I think I found that history about the fire being in Grafton when we were doing the research on their house, and it was talking about the how the fire department was formed and stuff, and how there was kind of like certain pieces missing from the history that
Right.
you couldn't find.
Okay.
So it kind of makes you wonder
Burned in the fire.
Well, it kind of also makes you wonder what actually. I mean, cover-ups have been going on for a long, long time. I mean,
yeah.
You know, think about it. I mean, the government's the worst when it comes to cover-ups. All right, and I'm sure there was something so dark that Grafton just wants to just forget about that part of its history, you know,
That would
and
make sense.
they kind of erased it, but not all of it, you know.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of just when I did the research on Grafton, it was in a big lumbering community as well, so there was a lot of stuff going on that land during those, you know, early times in the 1800s and early 1900s
Yeah.
when that was built.
Okay. I don't mean to change the subject, but I want to loop back around to what I was trying to say earlier about our investigation in the mill.
Yeah.
And some of the footage. Okay. So you guys remember when we did our first group investigation on the 3rd floor, right?
Yeah, we were up there.
Right. I'm actually looking at the footage right now.
Okay. And I had the handheld. Dad was on the other side of the room. And remember when Tom was sitting in the middle of the room in the chair and he provoked him and was like, you can touch me, whatever.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And
they were doing the EVP session up there.
Yeah, during the EVP up there, I had the handheld. When he first got that initial touch, that weird, I don't remember if it was a pain or weird, whatever feeling he had in his arm.
I think he said
that was when he was sitting by the window over by me at that time.
No, he moved over there, didn't he?
No, he was there first, and then he went to the center.
Okay, and then, but when he went into the center, he still had that pain, right, in his right arm?
No, we haven't had a chance to use either one of those yet.
And
as much as we'd like to.
When he moved to the center, I don't remember which way it happened, but when he was in the center, I literally watched like some sort of orb. It wasn't fast, but it was like just a steady pace to shoot right out of his arm. I got it on camera. I saw it with my eyes. And
I'll have to view that footage.
I will not forget that. I've been wanting to see that. I saw it, and an orb just steadily came out of Tom's right arm and just floated away. I saw it, and I was like, holy shit. Shoot, sorry.
He felt like my shirt turned into a blood pressure cuff. Ooh.
Yeah, I saw something shoot out of your arm. I saw an orb. It was very, like, just a steady pace. It wasn't fast, it wasn't slow, it was just normal.
And then that kind of sinks in with the orbs that went through my legs at their house.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, that's so weird. I was like, that explains it, though, sort of.
You never know. I mean,
right.
Possible in this, in the paranormal realm, anything is possible.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, and if we're that naive to believe that we're the only ones that exist in this universe, then you shouldn't be doing this in the first place. Then
we definitely are not.
Right. So that leaves the opportunity for anything to be possible, because if there's other people out there and they found a way to come to Earth, well, obviously they're smarter, they've got better technology, so on and so forth. You know, come on, anything's possible.
If you'll excuse me for about 30 seconds, I really have to use the restroom.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll
just
be right back.
Don't take the camera with you.
I'm definitely not.
Then we're going from a PG to an R. Yeah, keep talking, Joe. I'm trying to find this set here.
All I know is
it's driving me nuts.
I can't remember everything, but I do know that when it was trying to find any history on Grafton was probably one of the most difficult difficult times I had trying to find any history at all compared to some of the other places that we've been to. You know, like finding the history and the background on
I
Astalon
don't
State
even.
Park.
I don't even think that was 30 seconds.
There was tons of info out there on Astalon State Park. There's tons of info out there on some of these smaller places like the cemeteries, like Forest Hill Cemetery. There's a ton of information on Forest, but on Grafton, man, it's so hard to find anything on Grafton or the buildings in Grafton. You can find the dates that they were built. You can find a little bit about the fire, uh, but trying to find any true real history that makes any sense of what happened is hard without actually being able to physically go to some of these buildings and maybe look at some of the real old stuff that hasn't been put up on the internet and digitalized yet. You know,
You know where I want to go?
where do you want to go?
That old place on Northport Drive with the huge hill.
Oh, good luck.
No, not the actual building, but the wooded area behind the building.
Yeah, we've been there a couple of times.
Have
We
you?
can take you there.
Have
Yeah.
you? Okay.
Yeah, your dad hasn't let me live down one time.
I had an experience there a while ago.
Gonna.
I had an experience there when I was in high school. Me and my friends went there. We went in the woods with some flashlights. As soon as we entered the threshold to the woods, our lights turned off and would not turn back on. Let me tell you. Yes.
And you know that there's a church with a really, 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 really old cemetery right next to it.
Yeah, we checked out the cemetery too. That was creepy.
And but if you noticed, most of those headstones back there are children.
I did not look at them because I did not want to.
Your dad and I, when we were out there the first time, we actually looked real close at some of those headstones back there. And if you add up the birth and because some of them just had years, you know, just the years they were born and the year they passed
That's not what I
away.
wanted.
Some of them were like 7, maybe 10 years difference. So it was like
Jesus.
Yeah, and a lot of them were like children. But
that's
then
sad.
You gotta realize Sanatorium Hill was
Yeah.
you know, back in the days. It was a hospital.
Yes, it was.
Hospital for TB. You know, or a TB.
Now isn't it like a freaking business building?
No, it's owned by the county, and it's they used to have your welfare office and stuff up there, and now it's basically their higher ups in the job service.
I need a better computer that's a little faster.
You got the human resources for like job service up there, the executive offices up there.
Okay.
So it's completely cut off to the public. If you don't get in there unless you work there now.
Yeah. The wooded area behind there though is like super haunted. We were walking back out of the woods. We went in a little ways. I was behind the group, the last one there. No wind, no nothing. Steady, perfect weather. Something brushed my hair over my shoulder, like straight up. My hair went over my shoulder and I ran. I ran. And we must have taken like hundreds of photos that night. And when we went to review the photos, half of them were erased.
Well, that's how many times has something like that been
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Or corrupt when you get back to check it out after being at a location like that. You come back and the footage is corrupt. How often does that happen? I mean, we had it happen to us. It happens.
I even showed Dad the photos we took that were saved that we actually had.
All right.
I grew up
this
there.
Thing's starting to.
And I never had anything real happen, but then again, back then, you kind of got to have an open mind, for this. And
you're telling me.
Back when I was like a teenager and younger and stuff like this, I had no real thought about the paranormal and stuff like that. But I spent a lot of time in them woods up there,
Yeah. I was actually surprised and confused.
There was a lot of strange activities that went on in those woods at night. So sometimes you'd have to be careful when you were walking through and it was nighttime because you never know what you might run into.
And I remember, I also remembered that when you came back, Kayla,
Yeah.
you guys were showing me some of the pictures that you took.
Yeah, I know. We found some interesting stuff.
Well,
I
what
almost
you were
stepped on a
showing me,
deer
there
up
were
there.
some of them that actually look like um, you caught orbs.
I almost stepped on a baby deer up there. Your dad won't let me live that one down.
Nope, I am never gonna let him live that one down.
Crap.
He about jumped out of his skin. He about jumped out of his skin on that one. Ha 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 ha.
Something happened there with your daughter.
I'm here.
Oh, did you find what you
You're
were looking
here?
for?
I'm here. Hold on. Andy tried calling me.
Oh, she had to turn off her camera.
I'm texting him quick. I'm back.
I see. She's back.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people like that area. There's a lot of interesting things that happen out there.
It's a good sledding hill.
Yeah, before they put up the
All
fence,
right,
it was
I
even
think I
better.
might have
Except your
finally
luck out,
found it.
you could have ended up right on the Northport Drive in a sled on your sled.
Right. I think they put the gate up for the sledders.
Well, yeah, that's what they did. That's exactly what they did, Kayla. When you were like when I was a kid and we were doing it, there was no fence at the bottom of that hill.
I don't doubt that.
So I mean, we went in there a couple of times and we ended up going down it a couple of times, Dwayne and I, and so on and so forth, and we ended up over on the Northport Drive, but we never got hit by a car. But it did happen.
I mean, I don't doubt that. You go fast enough, the momentum will push you out into the road.
Yep, it will. All right, I think I discovered where it was.
Well,
Yay!
yeah,
Which
you
discovered where what was.
You also think
What I
about
was
when they
looking
plow
for.
Northport Drive. It also makes it kind of a ramp at the end there, so you can go
Yeah.
flying up over into the
So
median.
this was our EVP session in the upper floor where the yoga studio is.
Hi, Andy.
Is that your tripod camera? See that right there?
This is my tripod camera. Yes, this is my camera. It's angling at that door. Now Chris's camera's over on this side,
There's no
angling
door
that
over
way.
there.
Or not door, that wall, that corner. I meant to say corner. I don't know why I said door. But these are pictures. That's a window. That's a window. And there's that heater. That actually had a good heat signature. Now, see, this is after Tom moved to the center.
Yeah.
Now, listen. It's just a little bit after Tom decides he's going to say, he's hearing stuff behind him. But he says, I got a piece of pizza for you. And it's just after that.
Are you gonna play it?
It's playing right now.
No,
It's
it's
going.
not.
Just listen. Listen carefully and tell me what you think you hear.
It's not going.
Yeah, it is.
Right there. Did you hear it?
No.
It's hard to hear it through this.
Well, somebody's like breathing really hard, so.
Just 1950. Did you hear it that time?
No, I didn't, but that's okay.
Well, when I first heard it, and I'm sitting at that bar on that side over there. When I first heard it, to me it sounded like somebody exhaled really hard. really heavy.
That I remember because you reacted like right away.
Yes. I found it on the audio as well,
Nice.
and I matched them up, and you can hear it better on the audio. So what I will do is break this down a little, and I will clear the playlist, and I'm going to see if I can bring
Really?
up.
From the hell that. Okay.
No, no kidding. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Let's go find that.
Lots of rumors of cave
No, the
system from the
article
hill.
because he's talking WSJ is
Right.
Wisconsin. If I'm not mistaken, it's Wisconsin State Journal you're talking about.
Yeah, Wisconsin
Yeah.
State Journal.
So yeah, so that would and when it's talking Troy Drive, it would have been the Troy Drive that was on that side of Northport Drive too to go to probably, or no, it would have went straight under Northport.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because of it. Wow, my voice. Because if it's like under the hill, it would like go straight underneath the road.
The kid is sleeping.
What?
Andy asked where the kid was.
Oh,
Asked
yeah.
Kayla where the
Sleeping.
kid was, and I said the kid was sleeping. She
I'm gonna
showed
wake.
us.
Yeah, she's sleeping. I'm gonna wake her up in a couple minutes. Me too, Andy.
Give me 1 second here, guys.
One.
Whatever.
2 seconds up. 2 seconds up. You don't have a second. It's over with.
Kiss my butt.
But anyway, while we're waiting on you, now if you want to
It's
see
not
the full version of everything,
too much longer here.
if you want to see the full version from everything that we have, that we're showing and we're talking about today when it comes to the Grafton Mill in Grafton, you'll be able to find all of this footage that he's sharing in the edited version, which will only appear on Paraflex coming out in March.
So you're telling me I have to wait till March? Okay, cool.
Well, no, you can go over to your dad's or come over here and watch it anytime you want.
Oh, I know.
So,
Yeah, you're privileged like that, Kayla.
yeah, you got privilege. Yeah.
Cool.
Besides, you are a part of us.
Yeah.
You were a part of our fun.
That was such a great night, let me tell you.
All right.
When I did my high school project on that building, the lady who was in charge said 2 brothers wanted to make the entrance into a restaurant.
That's cool. Okay.
See if I have that footage from the tunnel.
Wow.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That
We'd
would have
be
been cool.
interested in that. Hey,
All right.
contact us if you ever get the footage to that or find the footage to that.
Ready?
Yes.
All right. Now listen carefully. I got the volume all the way up here. Now just listen carefully and see if you hear what I heard.
Don't breathe into your microphone.
Heard it, bud. 11:50. Thanks, Sam. I'm just running now about 50:36 is when. Yeah, about 50:36 on the timer over here is where you'll hear it. You don't have to be afraid of us. You come in here. Pizza for you. Sure is. Did you happen to hear it that time?
A little bit, yeah.
It sounds like somebody whistled.
Can you go back just a little bit more, just back one more time so I can hear it one more time?
I think my ears and between my ears and the computer fans running, I can't hear it.
Okay. Well, listen. It's at
Okay.
5:36. It says 5:36 here. And then listen, definitely listen hard. You don't have to be afraid of us. You can come in here. Pizza for you. Sure is. Did you hear it that time?
It was very, very, very slight,
It's
but
faint.
I heard it.
It's faint, but it sounds like someone whistling. But on the video part of it, when I found it on the video, it was a little different. Okay, now how do I? Oh,
Magic.
great. Now how do I unshare? I guess I gotta close it. Because I hid the share thing because it was in the way when I had it on the other part of the screen, and then I couldn't figure out how to bring it up. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we got. The audio, there's a lot of audio to go through. It's almost what was it? A little over 2 hours of audio. I didn't go through all of it.
Right.
That's a lot of audio to go through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff to go through on that one. But like I said before, to see all of the footage and all the bonus stuff that we're gonna add to this,
I got one more I'm gonna run. I'm gonna let people watch.
and then we're gonna have to call it a night. It's almost an hour.
Yeah, and then we're gonna be done. We bring this up, and I'm not gonna say anything. I want people to just watch it for the little time that it's on, and tell me if they see anything. I'm gonna give them an area to look on the screen, but I want to see if they see anything.
Hi, Janet.
All right. Hi, Janet. Let me go here. This one doesn't matter about the audio. This is just the video that you're looking for. Kayla should remember this one. All right. Kind of watch this part of the screen.
I don't see anything. Oh,
All right, I haven't
coming up.
started it
Okay.
yet. Just watch this
I
part
gotta
of the
bring it up
screen,
first.
and it's gonna be within the first minute. And tell me if you see anything.
You know those night vision with the.
It's not night vision yet.
Oh, it's not. But
No, the camera's set in night vision, but the lights aren't off yet.
I get that, but still, with the way it looks,
Whoa.
because it's kind of black and white, those pictures on the wall look kind of freaky.
Holy shit, dude. Please tell me you saw
Watch
that.
it out, Kayla, with the language, please.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
See, it's only 40 seconds in. It's not even a full minute yet. But there was one that was faint, more faint, that was just before that one.
I didn't see that one.
Now we're just over a minute in here. And again, we're all up there. It was me, Kayla, and Molly were up there talking. It's doing that in and out because I'm moving the cursor. When I let it idle, it goes back to a bigger screen.
Well, stop moving it. That's crazy.
But yeah, less than a minute in, and there was two of them. But I'm not gonna say what they were. I mean, you guys tell me what you think it is.
I don't say nothing
Because
people
you know
determine
you
for
got to remember
themselves.
this is a very old building.
Dusty.
It could, and it was windy as hell out that night. Plus, it was raining.
But there was absolutely no wind in the building at all whatsoever.
No, my little
You
meter
can't
didn't pick up.
actually say yes or no to that.
Well, it didn't pick up. There wasn't enough to trigger that one device that measures if there's any
Right.
breeze in the building.
But
So
the thing,
there could have been one there, but not strong enough to set that thing off.
Okay, but see, the whole thing is, okay, that was less than a minute after I turned the camera on.
That was like right when we got there.
And
Yeah.
The weird thing is, with all the footage of my camera ran the entire time sitting up there, and it was plugged into the wall, so therefore I didn't lose battery juice. And I have a 64 gig video card that's designed for those cameras for video, so I can run it in the higher definition. And I was noticing when we were in the area, when you see us on the cameras, there's not as much activity for those.
Sorry, I didn't mean to start a reaction.
But when
When
there was nobody in the area, there was more activity of those.
Yeah. Oh
It's
my
kind
god.
of weird. Okay, so that's. I'm not gonna say it was dust. I'm not gonna say it was orbs. I'm not gonna say anything. I want whoever sees it to come up with their own conclusion on it.
All I know is all I'm going to say about that place, and this is going to be my last thing I'm going to say about that place is, out of some of the places we visited, it did have some of the most activity and some of the strangest activity.
Mm.
It wasn't like scary. It was just like letting you know that something's there.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't malevolent. It was very benign, and it was
just to let them know it's like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm here.
Be careful what you do. I'm protecting this building. I'm here. This is my space. You're a guest.
So, but we're gonna break all this up into probably 2 parts, maybe 3 parts. But we're gonna try and get everything included, because my entire footage from just that night on my camera, there's that kind of activity that I just showed you throughout the entire time.
Yeah,
which is it's just crazy. And then of course, Kayla kept seeing the same kind of activity on Joe's camera while she was walking with it and filming with it.
Yep.
I got a new one now.
Yeah, Joe's got another camera.
I heard.
All right. So, we were in Janet. We were in
Grafton, Wisconsin.
Grafton, Wisconsin, in a mill.
And
it's an old flour mill.
It's an old flour mill. It was a flour mill back in the late 1800s.
Now it's
right on the edge of the Milwaukee River.
Yeah, now it's like an arts gallery.
Yeah, now it's an arts gallery. There's a coffee bar in there. There's a yoga studio. There's a massage studio in there. And then there's the second floor is all rented out to artists, so they can go in there and do their thing. Then they have different sections in the rooms.
All right. And you all can do us a favor and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us get closer to, unlocking more features so we can bring better content to you. This Friday is going to be different. This Friday, we're not going live at 6 p.m. We're going live at 8 p.m. And our guest is Beth Allen from the Black Wolf Paranormal, Wicked Woman Paranormal.
Okay.
Yep. So.
All right.
And yep. So that should be a good one. So.
Rock on.
And that's coming up Friday, and then let's see. Yep. And that's next. So stay safe, and we'll see you Friday, 8 p.m. So it's not a normal time. It'll be 8 p.m. Central Time instead of 6 p.m.
All right.